Tevez da solo, Tevez al limite dell'area, ma fuori tutti, Tevez, si apre la porta, Tevez, gol, da dietro, Pirlo dentro,
Ciao Juventini, welcome back to the All Juve cast. We got Anthony, we got Lucci, and we're ready to go. We even have a game to recap. The first one kicking off the U.S. tour in Vegas last night. I don't know if any Juventini went to it. Didn't seem like it.
No.
A lot of Mexicans out there. A lot of Mexicans out there.
They stormed that border, that's for sure.
So, yeah, it was pretty quiet for Juve support there. Would like to see some more, but don't worry. I'll be in LA. I'll be loud and proud. Let's go. 2-0 victory. We're going to talk about that match a bit. We're going to say ciao to everybody in the chat so far. I think Rome has the better Pellegrini. We'll talk about Pellegrini here. Bobby, happy Saturday, my man. Happy Saturday. Alex, ciao tutti. Fagioli, better than Rovella. Cherbuk saying that's your first good comment. Maybe ever to Alex? I don't know.
Those two are already going at it on Twitter this morning.
They're getting in it. They're getting it in a live chat. I like that. Chat, how's it going? Absolutely wonderful. Going to be great weather. After this, I'm rolling out to the lake. So, yeah, let's get into it. Juve. Kivas. Not a whole lot in terms of key moments to talk about. Big change from first half to the second half because we had the guns going in the first half and interesting midfield to go with right out of the gate. Loved it. Fagioli, Locatelli, Pogba, and you had Di Maria up top. Keane trying to see if he can make something happen off the wing there. And we're going to probably start there and then get into that one. But in the first half, holy man.
Can we just preface this with we should put the banner on the bottom. We understand it's just a friendly. We get it.
Yeah. But this is the other thing too, is that we're going to talk about all these players and we're going to talk about their performances. And you have to remember, they literally landed the night before. Okay. Yep. And they're playing a game. Their bodies are probably thinking that time is like 5 a.m. still, whatever, where they're used to. And they're playing a match. And it's still in the first half. I was surprised for such a short period of time that group's been together, that how cohesive it actually was in the first half. Pogba's Pogba, man. He's just showing you that rip right off a quick short free kick, and he's about close to 30 yards away from goal. There's not another guy in the middle of the park that takes that shot, let alone hits target and forces a save and goes out for a corner kick.
We haven't seen a shot from that distance since the Reagan administration.
So, Jesus. Anyways, yeah, Pogba's class is showing. They're pushing him forward, trying to get him forward a bit, which is still needs some work. You could see again, first half of the summer, but good stuff. Di Maria, absolute terror out there. Looked really, really good. But again, some mistakes to his game. Sometimes he ate the ball a little too long and didn't distribute when he needed to. Had Keane running up a wing all alone. Couldn't get the ball out of his feet quick enough. And again, that's what you get in the first half of a summer tour. I think those are the kind of things you get. You're going to get good and bad from even the guys that were looking good, right?
Another problem is he passed it to Cuadrado a couple times, and then Cuadrado didn't get it back to him. He might not pass it to him ever again.
He'll pass it to him again. They'll have no choice if we don't bring another right back in. So.
Sure.
Gatti looked good too.
Did anyone else realize that he was 6'9"?
Yeah, he's giant.
I did not
he's
know that.
Big. Moves shockingly coordinated enough for a guy like his size and whatnot. He's good on the ball. Was moving it quite well out of his feet too. Yeah, it's good stuff out of
the one thing guys. I'll reverse back to Pogba really quick. Again, I know it's a friendly. I understand that. But when he picks up the ball and he breaks through at least two lines of the other team, that's something else we haven't seen in the past X number of years. he carries the ball 30 yards just to break those lines, and it was refreshing. And I get it. Chivas actually started with their second team and then switched to their first team in the second half, which actually made absolutely zero difference. But
they think they get close and then dump their first team late, and then we went opposite. First team closer to the first team at the start, and then dumped in the second half. And that's where when we get into players' performances, it's kind of tough because like you're reading through on social media and it's all over the map. It's like, oh man, Fagioli like totally outclassed Rovella and not. Well, Rovella was playing with a much different lineup in the second half.
Rovella was playing with Lucci.
To be honest, they both had everybody. I just covered Di Maria, just covered Pogba in some positional like struggles. Again, he had Keane and Sandro on his left side. That was a bit of an issue as well. But honestly, you get the good and the bad from everybody in this one. Fagioli put a good show in, but still couldn't get the ball out of his feet quickly enough. But he had a nice strike from inside our own half that he almost buried. Caught that keeper watching there. Rovella in the second half. I liked Rovella in the second half. Did he make a lot of errors? Yeah, he made some errors passing, whatnot, but the reads were all great and all right. And he wasn't cohesive with the guys playing up front too. And Compagnon kind of made a mess of a few scenarios. Rovella sprung and whatnot. It'll be interesting to see if Rovella can get some minutes with, like a Pogba and Locatelli in the middle. Locatelli was great. Okay, Locatelli was solid first half. Danilo, I'm not convinced at center back based on yesterday's performance. So we're going to leave that at that because it's still just still just the first half of summer, but that one's not convincing. Fullback, Pellegrini, I thought was solid in the second half. I thought he put in a good showing for himself. And I'm telling you, people that want Sandro over Pellegrini, if those are going to be the two guys, I don't see it. I don't see it
either. Pellegrini, I don't really quite agree with you that he was solid. I think he was just there. A lot of mistakes from what I saw. I didn't really think he was that steady. But again, definitely starting over Sandro for me. 100% agree with that.
Good save.
Oh yeah, man! Come on, couple errors again. There's probably not a player on there that didn't have multiple errors. In our back, I was
gonna say Zakaria was sort of missing,
but Zakaria should have imposed his will in that game, and he couldn't whatsoever.
Yeah,
it literally was like Rovella was the only midfielder I pretty much saw in the second half, and that's why. Maybe I was a bit defensive in some discussions after the match yesterday because he was literally moving everywhere and always being an option in there. And you even saw like Pellegrini was making up for some of that midfield space that was there. And I don't know, man, for me, Pellegrini had a really strong second half. Rovella was everywhere in the second half, had his errors. But again, I would have liked to see him with Locatelli and Pogba because I think it would have been a completely different story, right? But then again, if you're going to play Locatelli and Pogba, Rovella doesn't necessarily make enough sense to go on that side because that's not necessarily his game. That's more suited to Fagioli's game, is to be a guy on one of the sides of a Locatelli as a player. Rovella would almost be the change-up to Locatelli. If they're going to have enough faith in that, right? Like that's Rovella's game is being that guy or a two-man pivot like that, right? What do you think, Luch?
I think where's Rovella going to play with Luca and Pogba? He's going to play right between them, Alex. What kind of question is that? Anyway, but I think if Rovella's going to have a good summer, a good preseason, whatever, take it as you will with a grain of salt, but if Zakaria doesn't find his feet, does he find his way out?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Well, here's the thing, though. Going back to that, where's Rovella going to play? That's kind of what I'm getting at because Luca's got to be the guy. Like, that's Luca's spot right in the middle. So if you're not going to play Rovella there, then it doesn't make sense with those other guys. That's why Fagioli kind of makes more sense.
But you need someone to back. If Locatelli's injured, suspended, or whatever, then you have Rovella to fill in that hole.
That's the thing. And this is now why we get into some of the transfer news, which is one of the names that kind of comes up, that keeps coming up there, is Paredes. This Paredes one isn't really making sense to me, because it's like, okay, he can offer being a changeup to Locatelli, but if that is in fact our game plan to move Locatelli to the side, that I was behind last year because we had no options. We had to move him forward. But I think like another creative mid is probably the way to go, rather than the alternative to Loca in that regista role, because I honestly, truly think Rovella could do it in a change-up scenario. I don't know if they're going to have enough faith in him. We'll have to see what the rest of the summer goes. But the Paredes one is a little bit weird, because he definitely won't be the one playing to the side.
No.
So,
and for that money, it doesn't make sense. For money he's asking, forget it. They want what, 20, 25 mil, plus he's making like 7 million salary? Forget that. It's not worth it. Invest in another center back or something.
Naked HD was back there for a second. I was getting a little excited.
Yes, Lucas.
I'll leave the Paredes comments to you guys in terms of how that player would fit in our system. In terms of the outgoing players, like Ramsey, we're just gonna put him to the side because that's right. But in order for Rovella and Fagioli to stay, you need to get rid of at least 3 midfielders. At least, well, Arthur and Rabiot have to go. Who else has to go? At least. So, and then even then, you're sitting with 10 midfielders.
But again, why would you keep Moretti? Where's he going to play? He's at the bottom of the pecking order.
To some people, he's at the top of the pecking order, and I don't know what the answer is. I'm just saying. For me now, Rovella and Fagioli have to stay, based on our injury woes last year and everything we went through. Those two have to stay.
But you're going to carry what, 8 midfielders? That's a lot.
Well, last year we were down to 5. Like
we might be cashing in on somebody, boys. We might be cashing in on somebody.
Weston's staying, so it's got to be either Zakaria, Locatelli. Sorry, not Locatelli. Zakaria or Rovella. I mean,
Alex P's calling it right now, saying that it's Zach. That Zach's going to be the one that we cash in on, but he's got a profile we kind of need in there too, and I think I'm starting to wonder if they're going to see Rabiot and Zakaria in that same kind of profile. And it's not the same profile if I were to compare player to player, but I don't know. Like something's got to give, right? In terms of what we saw, even just off the first half of a summer tour, I would be comfortable keeping Rovella and Fagioli around, to be honest. Mm-hmm. But again, it's going to come down to, like you guys are saying, and that's the space.
Yeah.
And, you know, Moretti, that's not on the U.S. tour. I was saying this last year. Get that kid on a loan. Get that kid on a loan somewhere where he's going to get his minutes and bring him up, right? The midfield, though, Pogba, anybody that had doubts and stuff like that, like his quality comes through, and he was in the mood last night, and it's good stuff. Again, I was surprised in the first half at how much cohesiveness there was for them playing together for such a short period of time. But man, there's give and go opportunities there. There's good movement and stuff. Like it was promising to see. Again, if you start looking at that first half, if you got Di Maria on one side and you slap Chiesa on the other with Vlahovic up top, that is going to be some issues for pretty much any team, really.
Oh, no Dusan last night. Was there something with that, or was he at the craps table?
Craps is a great game. Oh man, I love craps.
Love it. It's the only game I play.
I got stuck there one time in Vegas on a heater. Didn't leave that table for like 7 hours. Unbelievable.
Jesus.
So,
it happens.
I wanted to see Duchan, and we didn't get to. That's okay. We will see him. Maybe I'll see him in LA. That'll be good. McKennie, we didn't see McKennie. Gatti on the first goal with a towering header, putting it off the post, and then De Graca coming in there with
he had a 5-foot Mexican guy covering him. Like, let's just
what's that?
He had like a 5-foot Mexican guy covering him. Like he's gonna tower over anybody.
Yeah.
No, that guy was like 6 feet. It's just Gatti's a monster.
There are no 6-foot
Gatti's-
Mexicans. Maybe Lorenzo.
They had the only one. Yeah, low. How tall are you?
Low.
Go.
He's
Let's go.
5'11", 100%.
No, anyways,
Nah, he's probably like
Gatti's
5'8".
gonna be Gatti could be a big surprise because everybody had the doubts and was like, hasn't played Serie A ball or anything like that. But again, we saw him in that Azzurri match too against England there, and he looked good. And again, we were all pumping the brakes and just saying, let's see what develops or whatnot. But here's another showing where, man, he just looks really comfortable all the time and whatnot. Does he need some polishing? Absolutely. But he could very well be a big surprise this year for us at how well he actually integrates. So promising stuff there too. Bremer, 5'9".
I know, I was so close.
Damn it, Lo, you couldn't even just lie and just say 6 feet for me, right?
He's a good man.
So
he busts my balls a lot, but Lorenzo
Bremer,
great guy.
Bremer steps in second half, and man, that guy looks like he doesn't had this discussion on Twitter there. It's like he's not even thinking. It's just all natural, and the instincts are just there, and he just cleans stuff up. Super physical, and not afraid to just like close down space immediately and just pushing everyone back with a good solid partnership at the back, somebody that could clean things up. That's solid. Bremer's a beast. The ball movement, so something that we were faulting Pellegrini with, again, they were together second half, and that left side was Pellegrini and Bremer. This is the one thing with Bremer. His ball movement and his passing is not strong. It isn't strong. It's just enough to get by. And we found ourselves in trouble with that during the press. So that's something we got to kind of look out for. And Pellegrini fell victim to that with Bremer on that side a couple times. I don't know if those were the errors Ant was speaking to or whatnot, but we saw that. It's something that is just part of Bremer's game. But again, we had that with Chiellini too. He wasn't the best on the ball or whatnot. And it is what it is. You take the good with the bad.
He's only 25. He's only 25.
All in all, promising showing. And that's a good point too. 25, because you got him on a 5-year contract. Center backs primes 28 to 31, man. 28 to 31, 32. So we'll get him in some prime years too, and hopefully
I do have a question about Bremer though for you two. A lot of people on Twitter are saying, hey, he's used to a back three. Juventus play a back four. For you guys, is that going to be an issue, or is that something that he'll just slot right into the system? What do you guys think?
Might be a bit of an adjustment at first, but I think he's fine. No?
I'm not worried about it. And especially because we might be moving to that kind of scenario while on the ball anyways, because we saw it in the first half. He didn't get to play with those regulars in the first half, and they didn't do it in the second half. But in the first half, Juve shifted to 3 at the back across the half line on the ball. And again, that'll just play into his hand quite well. And of course, that's going to depend on the fullbacks that are there, right? So in the second half with Pellegrini and the youngster on the right side, Barbieri there, they weren't going to do that, right? So they just left him flat 4 at the back. But in the first half, if Bremer would have been there, would have played right to his hand, because we shifted to that 3. So, man, the Naked HD and the live chat is just fire. We made it.
We're there, man. We are there. We found you a girl. Sweet. There. That's for you, Lucci.
Jesus. If we see the live chat drop all of a sudden, these guys have hooked somebody. So we got to get them out of here. Got to get them out of here.
Yeah, just let them go. Sorry.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Anyways, good match, got married. I think, for the start. Now this gets us this game. Promising for the first half of a summer tour. A lot of good stuff. More positives than negatives. Would you agree?
Well, what I'll say is that it was refreshing to see the team want to come out and play. Like, I haven't seen the team want to come out and play friendly or regular match in quite a while. So,
Dells,
that's pretty funny. I think that was the thing. They were very, I think the best word for it is they were very interested. It would have been easy just to go out there. I don't want to get injured, but the team came out and they were very, very interested. They were on one last night. That's for sure.
Yeah, it was good. It was good seeing that. And now we can get to the discussion of where we need to go with potentially a couple moves left in the Mercato, right? So the stuff that was creeping up this year, this week, we already talked about was Paredes was one of them, okay? But what about first contacts being made for Belotti? So the Belotti and Morata thing is being discussed. Even Arnautovic, who continues to push Bologna, saying, "Hey, if Juve comes, like I wanna leave," and Bologna is being reluctant to let him go should that offer come in here. But where do you think we need to go? So for me, looking like just real quick, I still would like to see a little depth on the wing, but the Moise Kean scenario, he didn't have a good showing yesterday.
He did not.
He didn't have a good showing. To be fair, at a couple instances where he just attacked the space and got himself behind defenders, we couldn't find the ball. Di Maria had to spring that one, and he couldn't. Ended up getting speared by the ref. It looks like that ref wanted to try out for safety for the Vegas Raiders or something. I don't know. I've never seen a player get smashed like that. Anyways,
happens in
shocking back pass call too by that ref. That ref was just awful. My God. Anyways, Keane, another not so good showing. So the Kostic one still stands out to me. It looks like now he might have a deal in the Prem, I think.
West Ham, I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah. So that one still strikes me as odd that we didn't just get that as a solid, depth thing. But however, if they are going to be integrating Sule in some type of way, Sule looked okay.
He was out there?
But
seriously? No, I didn't know. I didn't.
He was
they
out
made
there.
So many changes. They made so many changes in the second half. I didn't know who
they
the hell
made
was who.
wholesale changes there. But again, Sule looked okay. I don't know. I would have liked a little more depth at the winger. For Vice Vlahovic, Belotti makes sense, man.
100%.
Belotti makes sense because he's free.
Yeah.
And you can keep going on, right? You can keep going on to, again, other positions. Fullback. We need a fullback.
Okay. I would like Lucci to start with this one because people are going to say like, oh, Tony, you're a Morata favoritism, blah, blah, blah. I would like Lucci to start with this one.
Yeah.
I agree with AD 100%.
Belotti and
you had some comments about Morata. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So what I was saying earlier is I'm not the biggest Morata fan. I appreciate all the, desire he has to play for Juve and the love and all that. But the only good thing about him is that he's a little more versatile than Belotti. He can come in off the wing if we need someone to fill in at left wing like he did last year. And that's probably where he played his best matches. He definitely not. That's the only thing, though. But is he really a Vice Vlahovic? If Vlahovic can't play, you really want to trust Morata to be your starting number 9? Not really.
No, and this, and I'll add to your point. I'll take the other side. If it comes down to money, free is better than anything else.
Right.
So if you can get Belotti on a free, because their salaries would probably end up being somewhere around the same. I think you can get
Belotti even cheaper.
It might even be cheaper. So in this management, I think is always going to take free. That's why the Belotti conversations are coming, because who knows what the conversations are with Atletico right now. They might be saying, oh yeah, no, we didn't mean 30. We meant 28 million. So then they're just going to shift focus real quick, right? You know what I mean? You don't know what those conversations are. So I wouldn't be surprised because there were some rumblings that there is going to be a big name coming in.
Zaniolo.
It better be Milinkovic-Savic.
Here's the thing. So
I'm not against
think that, a year where obviously Chiesa and Di Maria are going to be the guys. Chiesa is still question mark as far as when he'll be 100%. Obviously, the recovery is going better than anticipated. And, a few of us called it like there's no way it's going to actually be that long. But they're being super cautious, as they should, with a player that's untouchable and should be there for the future. But you can't, in my personal opinion, bank on Sule and Keane as depth options. So in the grand scheme of things, while there are mixed feelings about Belotti, I think, again, it's going to be the better move for the group overall because it's a vice Vlahovic role.
Yes.
We are not looking at a guy that's going to, all of a sudden be crucial. Even if it's a guy like Morata who offers a little bit of versatility, he's not going to be crucial. So in my personal opinion, you don't spend money on that spot. Belotti's going to have a low wage, and honestly, it's a free transfer. That's why it makes more sense because you can start to look at the depth options there. And Kostic, for me, again, if 15 million should have been locked up as the depth option alone. Yeah. The fact that he can play up and down the left side, even as a left wing back, gives you even more versatility than bringing in a guy like Morata. So Belotti on a free, Kostic, you've touched 15 million, maybe say 20, even if we had to go to 20 of your budget. And then you can still work on those other roles. Yeah. For me, if we don't bring a fullback in, I think there's going to be some issues there.
I don't see it happening this summer, to be honest.
I'm not just don't have a lot of confidence in those guys. I mean, Danilo on the outside, better than at center back in a back four.
So I was going to ask this earlier.
You still need your four. So if it's going to be Danilo and Quad, you could probably get away with that because Quad will be the guy pushing up. But he's definitely got to work more with Di Maria up there because they didn't have it last night. And that was against Kivas' second and third string guys. Like, they got to dial it in again. First half of the summer tour. So we'll give them some time. But if it's Danilo and Quad, it's okay. Outside of that, starts to get a little skinny.
Yeah. I think that you're going to bring in a depth center back, and you're not going to see Danilo play in the middle. He's going to either he'll be a sub to Quad, and Sandro's going to start on the other side, or it'll be Pellegrini and Danilo. So if they do kind of switch to a back three, Pellegrini will push or Cuadrado will push because you can't have them both on at the same time. No one's going to play defense.
See, and that's a good point. I can see them reinforcing the center back and then just, platooning those right and left backs.
And then next summer will be a big purchase, I think.
Or the winter. I think the center back and winger are the next two pieces. Even though I agree that a fullback is the position that we should be getting. I think we all agree on that.
Yep.
But showing last night where you have Cuadrado starting at right back, they might just be thinking they're just going to platoon those guys right through that spot.
And then you got MDS too, who's another depth option.
And then you got DeShilio, Lord DeShilio as well. Yep.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see how they end up going and whatnot. I mean, a lot of talks on big signings and stuff like that, and even like Milinkovic-Savic. Like, I don't know how it popped up this week, but there was so much Milinkovic-Savic talk, and it's just like, guys,
was it Omer?
Will not sell to Juventus.
It's not happening.
Okay.
I would love it, but it's not happening.
The only way that guy hits Juve is when he becomes free. Okay. Yes. That's like literally the only way.
Let's get realistic here.
Arnautovic is another option for Juve as a vice Vlahovic. And let's just ask this question. If it were between Belotti and Arnautovic, which route would you go?
Ooh.
Arnautovic is like 33, right? Or 34?
He's that old?
I'm pretty sure he's 33.
Yeah.
I like him, though. I like the way he plays.
I like that he's an asshole, and we kind of need some assholes.
Exactly what I mean.
You know me, I watch zero Bologna. So
33 years old.
Eek. But again, it comes back to Belotti being free. You'd have to pay what? What are they looking for? 10, 15 mil probably for Arnautovic?
15 is the number.
Belotti all day.
You're better off going with Belotti.
Yeah. So that's
I would even say if Arnautovic was free and Belotti was 15 million, I'd still go with Belotti.
Really? I don't know.
Belotti's only 28 years old.
So I'm kind of like, the thing with this is for me is like, I'd lean towards Arnautovic over Belotti. But again, that free that free is the kicker.
Yes,
And it kind of
exactly.
has to be the kicker if you're looking at depth around the squad.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm thinking the more I'm looking at this thing and this team, I don't think we see any fullbacks going. Obviously, somebody mentioned earlier, and I think they're spot on. Cambiaso being loaned out is pretty much the sign, and it was B1897 here. Loaning out Cambiaso means low left back this season.
Yes.
Keeping Quad and Danilo means no right back as well. So I don't think we're seeing any fullbacks. I think you guys are right. Ant's right as far as another center back will be in the cards and moving Lucci. And then, okay, Luch, whatever. Broken clock.
We like to give credit on all Juve cast. We give credit
very rarely
to the
so I'll
owners of certain things. That's for you.
Thanks, man.
Lucci, that's for you.
Yeah. So, again, yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see, but I don't think anything for fullback. Center back, there's play midfield. There's still gonna be quite a bit of action. The Rovella thing's gonna be interesting. I'm starting to wonder if there's only going to be one spot between them all. And it's interesting because way back when, if everybody can remember, Paolo Nomolo actually said, because as the summer approached, certain journalists started to creep up saying that between Moretti, Fagioli, Rovella, there's 2 spots. And then they started getting everybody's hopes up, went up. But way back when, before the summer Mercato even started, actually probably shortly after the winter, he said there would be one position between all of those players, Moretti, Fagioli, and Rovella, that would be integrated into this team this year. He might still be right. And Paolo Nomolo, for some reason, getting dragged through the mud a little bit this week, almost like people trying to bring him down. I just want to remind Zio Rocco to I had to let him know, hey, keep my boy Paolo Nomolo out of what the trolls are doing out there, because he's been sharp. And if people need a recap, June 5th, Di Maria 100% will be a Juventus player. He said that at the start of June, and he never wavered. He kept everybody in mind that everybody's giving you dates on meetings, stuff like that. He goes, he's on vacation. In terms of Bremer, what did Nomolo say the same day, June 5th? He said, yeah, Bremer has an agreement with Inter, but he says he's still at the top of Juve's list next to Badiashile because they have nothing with Torino. So let's go easy on old Paolo Nomolo. He's doing all right.
Or she.
What's that?
Or she. We don't know who he is or she is.
They? So they?
Well, I've had private messages with Paolo Nomolo, so I will confirm at least that much. So,
do we think 3 more signings is realistic for this team?
I'm starting to think 2.
What's this like?
That's what I mean.
What's a signing?
Realistically, including a potential free, do we think 3 is possible? Because we really do need 3 spots.
I mean, depending on what those 3 cost and if there's a free in there, I mean, absolutely. But we have to get guys moving. So I'm starting to think there's 2 more moves, but I'm starting to focus more on who's leaving. Yeah. Who's leaving? And in the middle of the park, man, Artur, I think, is going to be gone. So I will say Artur will be gone. One center back, Zaniolo, Vlahovic.
That would be ideal.
Milenkovic, Zaniolo, Belotti. How would you feel? And everybody in the live chat, how would you feel about those 3?
I would love that. I'm in for that.
This market would be a 9.8 out of 10. The last 0.2 would be coming when they get rid of that physio staff, because they haven't got rid of them all yet.
They did that already.
I didn't see an announcement.
But
they should announce that like they announced Vlahovic with like the drones and stuff and the lights, the new physio staff.
Yeah.
But if you spend money on Morata, then maybe you only need 2 players. But then again, you're missing out on Zaniolo. So then it's Morata and a center back instead of a striker, a winger, and a fullback. I mean, sorry, and
they're gonna keep on with Roma about giving them a player. Roma doesn't want players.
Of course, I wouldn't want Artur either.
Yeah, but okay. I think we'll get to this in our prediction show, but Roma's making some good moves. They're going to be a good team. Their problem is they don't have any depth.
None. And they
could compete for a top 4 spot.
Zaniolo and SMS are not coming third year. I believe he meant this year. Zaniolo, I wouldn't rule out. I wouldn't rule Zaniolo just out
either
right now.
Way too much.
SMS,
way
we
too
just
much.
talked about that 10 minutes ago, saying that there's no chance.
Zero chance.
Yeah. I even actually said that way back when the rumors. I said I'd be shocked if Lotito would actually accept, even if we came in 20 mil over asking price. So
he's not even picking up the phone.
B18, I said Milinkovic, Zaniolo, and Belotti means we can easily play 3-5-2 as well.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I still think we could play 3-5-2 if we wanted to. We are, but
where do you play Di Maria?
So, yeah, that's one of the things, right? Although he roamed quite well yesterday, so I don't know. Di Maria is kind of it's kind of a wild card there, but I prefer the 4-3-3 to be honest.
Yep.
But Alex P with a great point there with Dybala going in there. I don't know if it's so easy.
I can't. How are they going to play together? Again, so I was looking. We saw this. The predicted Roma lineup. First of all, their 2 CDMs are terrible. Second, you have
that was terrible. What was it? Matic and
Cristante playing CDM.
Oh.
And then Roma's telling me they're going to be like top 3 Roma fans. Okay, let's take it easy. Pump the brakes. Pellegrini playing left wing, Dybala in the middle, and Zaniolo. So technically, you're playing 2 wingers that are not even real wingers.
Yeah.
Where's the? I don't see that.
Yeah, I know. But that tweet on their lineup is still not as epic as the tweet I saw from the Napoli fans saying they are going to be in the running for the Scudetto this year and just jacked up on the team. And I'm like, what? What did I miss that Napoli's done that all of a sudden they're thinking they're going to be contenders this year?
They've lost their captain and their center back.
Right out into like
they lost their 3 best players. If Mertens doesn't resign, that's their 3 best players all left in one summer.
I don't waste my time with mid-table clubs. So
you can't say anything though because we know that's probably the most sensitive fan base.
Gonna start a war.
That was another good discussion. Most sensitive fan base. So Anthony, friend of ours from Interworld, says hands down Milan. I called
disagree.
out Roma fans because of how sensitive they got about all the Zaniolo talk to Juve and stuff. And then they were like, come on, it's easily Napoli. And I was like, just trying to get that out of them to get going. I was trying to stir the pot, cause some battles out there. But Napoli, for me, easily the most sensitive fan base.
I would agree.
I think Roma fans are the only ones you can – Roma fans, from what I've seen, maybe it's the only ones I follow, they're the only ones you can have like a normal conversation with and 1 or 2 Inter fans. Other than that, it's like –
Roma fans were realistic, and then now with their little bit of winning in Europe last season and Mourinho, they think they're going to take the league by storm. But we'll see.
No depth.
They need about 4 signings, but sure.
At least.
And Dybala's going to be hurt 3 weeks in, so.
Oh, see, that it only took 38 minutes to get that out.
There we go. We got to get to Storm the Barn with the live chat. So we got the live chat's just been on fire. It always is now and always has been. But reminder, like the video, everybody. If you're new here to the channel, subscribe. Okay, it's all Juve all the time. Let's get to the Storm the Barn. We had some early ones that we were going to get into and go through. So let's see here. Storm the Barn. Who do you think is the better midfielder, Zakaria or McKennie?
We haven't seen a lot of Zakaria.
I think they're very
we haven't seen enough. I tell you, last night I was, again, first summer game, but I was a little disappointed that he didn't show himself more in that kind of match against that level of opponent and whatnot. I thought he kind of, again, it felt like I was watching Rovella as a one-man midfield is what it felt like to me. And I expected more from Zakaria there. So McKennie, haven't seen him this summer. So I don't know. And we've seen a lot of McKennie. We know he can bring goals and get involved in the area. But Zakaria scored in his debut and like he's not afraid to get up there. But last night was not a good showing. But again, he didn't play with the top dogs too. So it's tough. That's a tough one between the two, to be honest.
For me, I like Zakaria's style better. He's something like you mentioned before, Al. He's something we don't have in this midfield. Good defensively, can get involved both defensively and offensively. He's big. He's physical.
Yeah.
McKennie is more. I don't know. I think he's more one-dimensional. Like he's not. Like he gets involved, but he also sometimes his mind, like he can't make up his mind. He gets a little confused. He makes the wrong decision. Like I don't know if that's just tactically he's not aware yet. He needs more time to develop. Maybe he's still young, but for me, I would personally move McKennie first. That's just
Really?
I know people are not going to be happy with that, but that's because we have more players that are like McKennie, like Fajoli, like Pogba, like I guess even Rabiot is he's whatever, but
naked HD.
I don't know. That's just me.
Ant, what do you think?
I like McKennie's energy when he doesn't have a busted up ankle. He brings a lot of energy out there. Something that you say that we have players that have that, but are those players going to stay? Like is Fajoli going to stay? Without
Pogba staying.
in the midfield that we had last year, McKennie brought that extra dimension of like I agree with what you're saying. He's sort of all over the place, like Pac-Man a little bit, but he does get forward. He does score goals. So
yes,
from what I've seen, I would prefer McKennie. I would prefer they both stay. But
the thing is, if you're playing a midfield of which will most likely be Pogba, Locatelli, McKennie, who's playing defense in those three other than Locatelli? Everyone's just see ya.
Yeah, good point.
And we know how Max loves his defensively stable midfielders.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one there between
I
those
understand
two for
both.
me. If man, that's just tough. And again, just haven't seen enough of Zakaria to really go at the two. But McKennie, I mean, he can get lost possession, like positionally sometimes, which is kind of weird. And I don't know, like, are we gonna need all these goals that we talk about, like that need to come from the midfield and whatnot? Like, how much does Pogba's influence help with that? Like, and if Fajoli's on that other side, does he bring more than McKennie offensively and whatnot? And are we going to need as many goals if these guys are feeding the players up ahead of them better? And then all of a sudden, like Zakaria's, size, physicality, and more tactical awareness, I should say, is probably the only way I could word it in terms of the change between those two players. That's kind of maybe slight edge to Zakaria. I think it's pretty close, though, to be honest, between the two of them. Mm-hmm. The thing with Zakaria, though, is, and I was curious if Max would look at it, is Zakaria nationally actually plays ahead of the defense. And he can actually offer that to you as well because he is pretty good technically. Is he better than McKennie technically? I would say he is, to be honest.
Yeah. But then I also
he's a bit better than McKennie technically too. So he might have the edge. I'd like to keep both. Gun to your head, you have to move one.
Oof.
McKennie, he brings in more money.
I would agree. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yep.
Gun to your head, live chat. You got to sell one. Zach or McKennie. Let's see what comes
all about
up.
The Benjamins now.
So, skill-wise, do we think Fajoli has more skill than McKennie?
I do. Like technically he's better.
Technically, I think he's above McKennie. Yeah, for sure.
Interesting.
Just quick instance last night, the spin move, Fajoli, the classic spin move that midfielders do, right? Your one crossing leg stops the ball, flips it back, and then your dragging leg spins it around. McKennie, I don't even see him attempting something like that.
I would agree.
So technically, I think Fajoli's got the chops there. I think he's better than McKennie on the ball, like without question. Vision, Fajoli takes the edge in vision.
Yeah.
Distribution, yeah. There's a lot of positives to Fajoli in that comparison.
Yeah.
Something to think about. So maybe Fajoli stays and ends up finding, it's almost a guarantee someone's going to get hurt. If not, maybe two or three of them.
Oh.
So on the sell thing, it's getting pretty interesting. So Dells comes out right at the gate saying, gun to your head, McKennie or Zakaria says McKennie's getting sold.
Interesting.
Zakaria, sell Zakaria. Michael Rasso, no-brainer. McKennie. And then we carry on. McKennie will sell shirts in the U.S. and bring the money in.
Okay, before we get on to the next one, the one reason why I don't see us moving Zakaria is because we just brought him in.
Yeah.
That had to have been Allegri stamped all over that.
Yes.
So
yes.
I see very, very little. I see very, very little chance that he gets moved because that's like, what are we doing here? We just bought him in January. We're going to move him now.
Yeah.
McKennie's not Allegri's guy. So.
True.
Yeah.
Do we see McKennie like a Vidal type though? I don't.
No, I don't.
I could see Zakaria, when healthy, being more that type of player.
I could get behind that.
I want to see more of both. Too. I'd like to see more of both first.
I think that battle on the right isn't going to involve Fagioli because I actually think Fagioli might be the change up to Pogba.
Fair.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be Pogba and Fagioli kind of dealing with that creative.
But you still got Rabiot there.
No, we don't.
I don't think he's going anywhere, Al. I hate to tell you.
No, we don't. Luke, even if he doesn't go anywhere, I think there's a completely different role. Like he's going to be in that mix of Zakaria, Rabiot, and McKennie. Man, I don't think we're obviously going to be creative through Fagioli and Pogba. I believe Locatelli's going to do his thing, controlling tempo and dictating play, and that side is going to be the question mark this season.
Yeah,
is how I see it. That's what I think, anyways.
If you have to move Weston to bring in Zaniolo, do you do it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Really?
Oh yeah. Like, what are we talking about here?
I know Juventini are not there's a lot of Juventini that are not hot on
Weston.
Zaniolo coming in, man.
And they love Weston.
I like him.
And the depth at forward with him coming in, you would have Chiesa, Di Maria, Vlahovic, and you have the option to pull in Zaniolo off the bench or whatever, and even start. I do it. And if a lot of us feel like Zakaria is ahead of McKennie, what are we scared of?
Yeah, I wouldn't even let the phone get to the second ring to make that deal.
Interesting.
Take it easy.
I'm surprised. Interesting.
This was an interesting one. I think we're gonna kind of know our answer, but it's between two players out of these that you got to keep. Well, I'm going to go as far as one because we've all kind of talked about this earlier on, saying Moretti needs to be the one going out on loan. Mm-hmm. But let's make it Rovella or Fagioli. You have to keep one this season and only one. And why? And I can't wait to see the live chat on this one. So Fagioli or Rovella, you can only keep one. Let's not all answer at the same time, okay? Let's just try and
give me a minute here. I'm trying to
to
figure out what Putin didn't find his girls with us.
Man.
I'm going with Fagioli. And this is not a shot at the Rovella Hive, even though it could be taken that way. I'm not saying this as a shot to Rovella Hive. I'm keeping Fagioli.
I'm with, apparently me and Lorenzo are the only ones, but I'm saying we keep Rovella just because you need a backup regista, and Fagioli is not a backup regista. And neither is anyone, unless you play Zach there, which apparently is the potential.
We got to keep. I think we got to keep both. That's the problem.
I would agree.
Fagioli.
It's pretty one-sided. Yeah, it's like three of us with Rovella, everyone else with Fagioli.
Oh man, so I gotta say, I think with this team currently, Fagioli probably has the edge based on what we need.
Really?
Yeah. I still say with Fagioli and Pogba in this lineup, I still say we need a little more creativity out of the middle of the pitch. If they're not going to be sharing the pitch and Fagioli's a change up to Pogba, you still need a little help. Just a little help in the midfield, I think.
So if you keep both, how many midfielders does that leave you with? 7?
If we keep both those guys?
Yeah.
So you're going to have Pogba, Locatelli, Zakaria, McKennie, Fagioli, Rovella,
Rabiot.
Stop it, Luch.
Okay.
Enough.
Okay, 6 minus Rabiot 6. And 6 is good. If you keep Rabiot, that's 7. You can keep 7. Someone's
I'd say 8.
The thing is,
That's
you're cutting
No, I
into
think you
minutes
need 8.
on these guys
Oh.
too, right? So like, is that going to really be the best for one of Rovella or Fagioli?
But they'll get time. I think they'll get. We're competing in 3 competitions this year. They'll get their minutes.
I don't know.
They're right there. Like I don't think McKennie is better than either of them.
You got to remember
Rabiot
too
is better
that
than either of them.
you got to remember too that Pogba, McKennie,
Zakaria, all injury prone.
What if we don't move Arthur?
No,
What if we don't move Rabiot? You got 8.
No, Artur's gone. Artur is 100%. They'll do whatever they have to do to get that guy kicked out wherever the hell he has to go.
What something that this management has to keep in mind, I think they are, because they're way smarter than we are. With the World Cup happening when it is, you have Pogba, Rabiot, Zakaria, McKennie. They're all going to be gone. So when they get back, they're going to have to be ramped back up a little bit. Coming back, they're going to need some sort of rest coming back from the World Cup. So you're going to need Rovella and Fagioli to play, and Locatelli to pick up the minutes.
So maybe you keep
not them all playing together, but you're going to need some sort of backups.
It's very true.
And then that's when, So like, who else is in there?
7's not bad in terms of a whole number for midfielders.
I'm counting 7 right now.
But when you have those young guys, like, it's kind of like, I think Fagioli will get his minutes. I don't know if Rovella's going to get enough. And we saw it last year with how much we banked on Luca. Like,
maybe
even in Coppa Italia,
but look,
he was hesitant to give guys the minutes
because he's got no backup regista because Artur sucks. So when Locatelli either gets injured or suspended or something, which will probably happen, you need someone to step in there.
All right.
I don't know.
This is a bit of a
good number.
Showing the curtain, peek behind the curtains a little bit. This is what our group chat is like, pretty much.
Oh,
guys,
it's like discombobulated and
man.
So
Storm the Barn. What's the best midfield pairing with Pogba? Let's just say, what's your best midfield so far with the guys we do have? And this is, our go-to match. You're starting the lineups. Who do you put in the midfield?
I think we all agree that Pogba and Locatelli have to start.
Those are the 2 given.
Have to
start.
So it's really between one player.
It's Zach or McKennie for me. And I'm kind of leaning towards Zach just because I like him better defensively.
I would lead towards McKennie because I know that's the devil I know. I haven't seen enough of Zakaria yet.
So you're going Pogba, Luca, McKennie.
Yep.
Yeah. Pogba, Luca, Zach. Yes. I'm going Pogba, Luca, Zach. Fagioli is, I want to say Fagioli, but
not yet.
Maybe at the end of the summer tour, I'll say Fagioli.
Not yet. I don't think so.
To be honest, even in this summer, in the preseasons, you just got to take it all with a grain of salt. So we're talking about the performance yesterday, but we still said it's the first half of the summer thing, but it's pretty promising all in all. And it's never a bad thing to have battles for positions. It's something that Juventus lacked for a few seasons.
Yeah.
And this is a good thing to have in the middle of the park. So it's a positive, even if we're talking about, who gets a spot versus who. This is good. It's good that we're having that talk because you can go at fullback right now and be like, it is what it is. I think it's pretty much just a foregone conclusion who should be playing there. And that's not always necessarily the best scenario. You want some Bowser. The SMS thing, it just ain't happening.
Now, listen, Al, you and I should learn a lesson because you and I were like, the Bremer thing just ain't happening, people. Let's just get over yourselves. It ain't happening. Now,
where's that clip, by the way? Did we have that?
Okay, so the thing is, reverse jinx, okay? So the more you say it ain't going to happen, it's going to happen. So you want me to continuously say SMS ain't happen like I did with Bremer. Plus, 3 subscribers are going to get kits. So take it easy. Take it easy.
Yeah.
Jeremiah, will Vlahovic score more than 20 goals without quality fullbacks?
Ooh.
When was the last time we had a 20 goal scorer?
He's scoring more
other
than
than
20
Ronaldo.
this year.
Higuain? No.
Oh, yeah. Vlahovic
No,
will
no.
score more than 20 this year.
I want to say yes. I want to say
With
for
Pogba
sure.
and Di
Let's do
Maria
it
in
like
there, I'm telling you right now, he will score more than 20 goals this year.
and you bring in Zaniolo and you got Chiesa coming back. Like, how could you not?
Vlahovic
20s.
will score more than 20 this year. I will bank on that right now.
Ooh,
Total or Serie A goals?
total.
That's different.
I thought.
He'll have more than 20 in Serie A.
Oh,
Oh,
I don't know about that.
I do, and I'm banking on it right now. I'm
Has
telling
that
you.
bet out yet? I'll put some chicory on that.
He will have
than
more than 20 in Serie A this season.
I think Lucci, you and I think it'll be more than 20 total.
Yes, that I agree with.
20 is a lot.
I'm thinking like 15 to 18 mark Serie A, and then maybe another 5 to 10 in other competitions, depending how deep they go.
17 goals.
Yeah, that's within my range. I would agree.
34 total, probably Alex P there.
Jesus.
Yes, overall.
Look at this,
34
look at this.
overall.
Who let this guy in the chat?
That's big. That's big. I
That
like
was
it.
for Lucci.
I like it. 25 plus. It's with Di Maria for me. Di Maria is going to open things up for Vlahovic in that area.
Yep.
Telling you.
Tell Quadrado to sit on the bench while he's there.
I'll be positive. I'll be positive on this one. I say no. It'll be less than 20.
Write it down, Danny boy. Write it down.
Yeah.
Alex
Pen
P is
out
the
of your ear, man. Like your office space over
Let's see if
here.
these bets are open. Let's get
Alex
some bets
P is
going.
losing his mind. I don't know what's
He's
gotten into
Jesus,
that
with
guy.
this naked HD. Just Lucci, would you just already subscribe? This is insanity.
Tired of being alone.
God.
Come on, man.
Well,
Dusan
how fitting is
Vlahovic,
this? Hang on.
you-
How fitting is it?
Over
Naked-
20
naked-
goals in Serie A.
Tired
No
of being
problem.
alone, and then this comes up.
That's
You
great.
can't write that any better.
Okay, so realistically, guys, in this Mercato, it's being reported more and more that it's going to be the outgoings right now that
Yep.
Juve is going to focus on in terms of how we're gonna maneuver after that. 1 CB, I think for sure, and maybe that bites Vlahovic. It could end there. My question now is, as we were talking before, in the kind of last question before we got into Dusan Vlahovic's goals, is the middle of the pitch. How you would line up the middle of the pitch. Do we think we have enough in the middle of the park? Because as soon as we signed Pogba, everybody was saying that's great for Juventus, but it's not enough. Do you feel that way as well?
I'm okay with it. I think we give these young guys some time, see how they do. I'm less concerned about the midfield than I was 12 months ago. And now it's more, the focus should be more on that defense. Center back, left back, right? Like you need every position.
But realistically, is there enough out there for it to be fixed this market at the back?
No, of course not. But you need to bring in at least one more center back. Because I think the fullbacks will be a complete revamp next year when Sandro's gone, potentially Quadrado's gone. Because did he end up signing that extension? I don't even remember.
He did.
Oh.
Well, he didn't sign it. He just didn't modify it.
Dear God.
It was a 1 year automatic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think he has one more after this, right? He has this season and then another one.
Do we have enough in the middle of the park, in your opinion?
If the kids stay, yes, to get us to the winter market.
Yep, I agree. We have bigger focuses right now.
Yep.
Not enough depth up front. Not enough depth at the back.
Need a forward. Need a defenseman.
Need a winger.
I'm quite comfortable in the middle of the pitch, to be honest.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's make or break out of the options there. Honestly, Paredes, I don't think Paredes tips the scale in any way, shape, or form for Juventus, to be honest. And if that's the way we're going to do things, I would probably look towards keeping both Rovella and Fagioli, and honestly using them. Fagioli, the change up to Pogba, and Rovella can offer Locatelli breaks, especially in Coppa Italia, whatnot. But even in Serie A, I mean, Rovella was great when he was playing his minutes there. So
Yeah.
I don't see the targets in the middle of the pitch tipping the scale, but at the back, it's hard not to agree that we could use a piece on one of the wingback spots for sure. And up top, a little bit of depth would be nice. Again, the Keane Sule thing is what's concerning me, because that's just not enough to have behind those guys. Morata, if we do end up going that route, which it very well could be, if there's two more additions that could be made, don't be surprised if it's Morata and Milenkovic, okay? One's more center back, and Morata, because of the fact Allegri sees Morata versatile enough to play as a 9 and outside. That's not tipping the scale in a big way for me either. We'd still have the little bit of a depth thing there, but Morata, it's not all bad with him. It's not all bad with him by any means.
I don't know.
But I think there's some opportunities to do a bit more, given the names we kind of talked about earlier. And it might not be the names that are flashy, whatnot, but again, it could be better for the overall group in numbers. If it's guys in numbers to just offer you that that support. And injuries might play a part again this year. We never want them to, but man, it happens. You got to have that coverage.
One thing I sort of want to add to that is that, the management is smarter than us. I was just looking through the schedule really quick. There are a lot of games packed between now and November 13th.
Yeah.
So forget Coppa Italia games. There's just Champions League and Serie A games.
Yeah.
We're going to need bodies coming out. Like, there's games pretty much every 5 days. You know,
and you're going to need depth, man.
Yeah.
We
numbers.
don't need depth for Coppa Italia. We need depth just for Serie A between now, because you go right to November 13th, and I'm pretty sure the World Cup starts on like the 20-something. I don't really care.
Something like that, yeah.
But so those players are going to be flying out soon after. Like, our last game before the World Cup is against Lazio. So that's going to be a tough one.
Yeah.
So it's going to be all hands on deck, man.
UV12 looking for Kostic. We talked about Kostic earlier, most likely heading to West Ham. But
Scamacca too.
We're a bit of another hijacking. I don't know. I'm still loving the Bremer hijack. Just absolutely love it. But we'll see what they do. The first one was, I don't know. That was a fun watch, to be honest. It was a fun watch. I like these preseason ones when you take them for what they are, and that's getting a look at certain guys. So, again, everybody's going to make their comparisons, but for me, massive change in quality on the pitch, first half to second half. And I don't know, the guys that we need to be good, though, like, and our new guys were a breath of fresh air, man. Di Maria, breath of fresh air. Pogba, man, it's promising again in how short a period of time they've been together and the link up that was happening in that first half. I get it. It's Kiva's second tier guys, whatnot. Still, there's an understanding that's already there amongst a lot of those guys that were in there in the first half, which is what I'm looking for. I don't so much care about the opponent. I care about the team that we have on the pitch and their understanding and their sharing of minds essentially on the pitch. And it was pretty good. It was pretty good for the first half of a summer tour where they landed in Vegas the night before. So everybody's got to kind of factor that in too. It was good. It was good. Next one, I believe, is Barcelona, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's correct.
So, yeah, that'll be good too. And then as far as the news with rumors and whatnot, Mercato, it's getting a little quiet. We got to get some outgoing stuff. So, Rabiot, not on the tour. Artur, not on the tour. Because they're both going to be moved.
You better start praying, buddy.
Here's a good question.
Yes.
Luca won't be there. We'll all be there. All of us.
Just like
Luca can go out and buy a fresh pack of pens and be so attached to those pens that if he lost that pack, he would break out into tears, okay? This guy gets attached to any and all players like it's the be-all, end-all.
Ramsey, Artur, Dybala, Jesus.
Put down the security blanket, bro. It's all good. The club moves on.
He does
But
not.
no, we're not going to do a parade. Do you think we'll see Bremer and Gatti as partners? Oh, yeah.
I'm sure we will.
I'm sure we will at some
On
point.
the regular?
Maybe not on the regular, but
No,
I'm
not
sure
on the
at
regular,
some
but
point.
we will see that partnership.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you got to remember, too, Bonucci's not spring chicken anymore, right? If he goes down, Gatti's in line.
Yeah.
When I know it.
As of right now, Gatti's in line. Would you take Pau Torres? Of course I'd take him.
Too much, though. Can't afford that now.
Yeah, but if I could take him for the team, sure.
Absolutely.
Sure. If I have to pay, probably not. Not now.
Do we think Milinkovic is a real possibility, though?
Yeah.
I'm sure. I think Inter wants to sign that, get that done as soon as
No,
possible.
Inter's going to buy Demirel so that we get the sell-on clause to really put the cherry on top of that hijacking.
Pay up.
Oh, man.
I hope
Sweet
they can
play.
make
Sweet
it happen.
play. Yeah, so I don't know. I liked that first game yesterday. It was an enjoyable watch for sure. Taking those guys
So
in.
3 days.
We're
3
gonna get
days till the Barcelona game.
3 days to Barca,
26.
and then I'll be leaving Thursday and getting to LA Thursday morning, and then we got a ton of stuff planned. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of content coming out. I'll do a cool vlog for heading down there, and I'm sure you'll see lives and stuff on Twitter and whatnot. We got a lot of cool stuff planned with Juve SoCal down there, the fan club, and there's a big tailgating happening from like early afternoon. The game's not till 7, so that'll be some interesting watch along stuff. So stay tuned for that one. I'm pretty pumped for it. It's gonna be good stuff.
Are you just going straight to the airport after? You just going from the tailgate to the game to the airport? Is that what your plan is?
Pretty much. My flight out is awful. I could only get it for 7 a.m.
Ooh.
Game ends at 10, I believe. And then, of course, post-match shenanigans, whatnot. We'll see what everybody gets up to. And then I might just stay up and, just go straight to the airport. We'll see what happens.
No one cares, Alex. Take a hike.
F1 qualifyings are starting soon. We are wrapping it up. And then it's the race, man. I mean, come on. Qualifiers. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Forza Ferrari. But, guys, great show. Always a blast having you guys on. Lucci, kind of. But every time you show up now, all of a sudden this bot with the porn.
It's the first time.
Probably because your laptop's connected to us right now, and all of a sudden, like, Jesus. Just knows. But anyways, let's get into it, okay? Let's get into some F1 qualifiers. Everybody go enjoy your weekends, okay? We'll be back next week. I'll be with you on the full updates, news updates. Those ones will get interesting as I travel. I'll still bring them to you, but some might be from the airport. Some will be, we'll see. It's going to be a guessing game where I'll be when those ones come out next week. Have a great weekend, guys. Thanks. Fino alla fina. Forza Juve. Ciao tutti.